let's take even one step back away from there.
Yeah.
And talk about your company, the one you founded
Mm-hmm.
and you co-own with your brothers across Canada. What exactly does the company do, Charlie?
Absolutely. Yeah. We buy gold. We focus on jewelry. So, anything people have lying around their house. We buy silver jewelry, gold jewelry, and you come into our office. We kind of sit down one-on-one with each person in kind of a no pressure environment, and we'll test the gold. We'll give an estimate on what that's worth, and if they're interested in selling, we buy it on the spot there for them.
Interesting. Now, this is a very timely conversation, Greg and Charlie, because, well, just a couple of days ago, spring happened, and a lot of us are, well, stuck with spring cleaning job jar assignments for the next few weeks. And during the course of spring cleaning over the next few weeks, more than a few of us are going to come across something, a bit of jewelry, an object, maybe something that was a gift, maybe something that goes back to your high school graduation or even further. And you're going to go, my gosh, I'd forgotten I even had this thing. Well, now what do I do with it? Maybe it's worth something. How do I go about finding out if this object I haven't seen for 20 years and discovered at the back of that old drawer is actually worth something, Charlie? What do I do?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 4 stores in the Lower Mainland. We've got a Vancouver store on Broadway. We've got one in Surrey, one in Richmond, and one in North Van.
Okay.
So you just kind of gather up whatever you have. You don't have to know what it is or what you're expecting. We can kind of let you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you come into one of our stores, no appointment necessary. You just kind of walk in, and we'll sit down with you and give you all the details.
Now, we're talking about gold, Charlie, by the ounce at this astronomical $1,600. But when you talk about pricing to the consumer, you do it by the gram. So why?
It's when we have someone come in with a little bit of gold jewelry, it's going to be 0.03 ounce. Like, it's going to be so small usually that
Right.
0.03 is actually, it's going to be more than that.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually, it's a more useful unit and something people understand a little more easily. It's something people can kind of compare to what they know. One gram of gold is worth between, if it's 10 karat gold, we do post the prices online at vancouvergold.ca.
Okay.
But roughly 1 gram of gold for 10 karat gold is going to be worth about $16 a gram. If you get up to 24 karat gold, you're going to be looking at over $30 a gram.
Okay.
And that depends. It is worth a little bit more if it's a coin or bullion than jewelry, because we don't have to refine those.
Right, sure.
But yeah, I just wanted to give people an idea of what they can expect. Our average customer, we've kind of run the numbers looking at what they come in with, and it's more than $500 people leave with. And these are people often expecting that, they have a couple old chains, stuff. They don't know what they have.
Right. Few of us do.
Exactly.
But it looks like it might be worth something. So it's worth a trip to the store
We
to
have
find
people
out.
that have a broken chain and they were going to throw it out, but
Yeah.
someone told them to, check it out, bring it in.
That's
Yeah, we
right.
get lots of referrals that way, and that's great.
So how do we figure grams? Not many of us have scales that are that fine. Give us a benchmark as to how to recognize weight that way.
Yeah, absolutely. A Canadian quarter weighs 4 grams. A loonie weighs 7 grams.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
it's not going to be perfect. We weigh it all. That's no problem.
Well, but it's a good ballpark.
But it's a ballpark. It
Right.
gives you an idea. So if you have a piece of jewelry that weighs the same as a loonie, if it's 10 karat gold, you're looking at a little over $100. If it's 14 karat gold, you're looking at a little over $150, just to give a very rough idea there.
Some of the tips, and this is from the website, vancouvergold.ca, friends, and it's a terrific website. And if you are, as many of us are these days, spring cleaning or just moving things around the house and come across more than a few objects that you figure could be worth something, then that's why you've tuned into the right radio program this time around, because there are now options for you to look at, and taking these in for an appraisal at Vancouver Gold is a really strong option to consider. And from the website, the Better Business Bureau people, Charlie, say the true price of gold may not be what you receive. If gold is worth, for round numbers, $1,600 an ounce, and you actually manage to bring an ounce of gold for appraisal, you may not receive $1,600, right?
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. A lot of people wrongly assume that since there's a market price of gold, no matter where they sell their gold, it doesn't matter that you're going to get that price. But no one is really paying 100%. There's some refining fees and charges, basically.
Right.
So one factor is obviously the purity of the gold. If you bring in 1 ounce of 10 karat gold, you're not actually bringing in an ounce of pure gold.
Right.
But the other kind of more important thing to note is that, the people who are the pawn shops, you have to make sure which gold buyer you're dealing with. There's a huge range of what people are paying, down to 20% or less is quite common, up to 80 or 90%. Our prices, we start at about 70% for jewelry, and it goes up depending on what the items are, what the purity is. If it's coins, it goes to the 95% or so.
Okay, sure, of course. Because that's been strictly controlled right from the get-go with coins. It's a safe, reliable format.
It's a safe, reliable. We
right.
know if a Canadian maple leaf coin with 4 nines on it, that's actually going to have a full ounce of gold in it.
Okay.
There's all these other factors. You get a 10 karat gold from the 80s or before. 9.5 karat is what's actually in those pieces.